r/AskReddit by Reddit Queen. People of Reddit, what is the scariest story you know that is 100% true? A bit of a personal story. This happens when my sister was in about the 6th grade. We are Muslim, so we celebrate Ramadan. She was up late at night and out of food. She headed downstairs and saw a pale white kid. She did not have her glasses on. She said hello. The kid did not respond. She just thought her eyes were playing tricks on her. She went back upstairs. The next morning my parents found some money missing from their wallets. Credit cards were still though. At this point my sister had still not told my parent. Latter part of the window screen was cut. Called the police. They thought it was a guy and kid stealing money for drugs. We actually live in a pretty good part of town though. As far as personal stories go, one time, when my mom was growing up, she had the house to herself for the night, plus her little brother whom she was babysitting. They went to her friends across the street for a little while. When they came home, the front and back door were wide open, and there was a light on upstairs. She had her friend's older brother search the house with a baseball bat, and they ended up spending the night at the friend's to be safe. Everyone was okay, but my mom said she was paranoid for years. Never found out exactly what had happened there. A personal story was that as a kid, somebody broke into our house around 2 AM with a pump action shotgun, as my dad stated. Luckily, our house was 2 floors, not including the basement, and all my family members stayed on the top floor, while whoever it was never tried coming upstairs. We heard our basement door slam a few minutes later. It took the police about 30 minutes to arrive, and they never found whoever it was. We also later discovered that our basement had a broken window after this event. There was nothing scarier than waiting in your room, hiding, while your security alarm in the house is blaring off, hoping for dear life that your family members are safe and that you all don't get murdered. A lot of times, I'd go to the basement to chill and listen to music by myself late at night / early in the morning. Or, I'd often fall asleep on the couch because I loved watching TV down there instead of my bedroom. Luckily I didn't do either of those things that night. A personal story that my family finally admitted after I was rushed to a hospital and an investigation was conducted. At the age of 14 to 15 I used to have these hyper-realistic dreams where this one tall guy wearing a wet mask of sorts forced me to eat various types of human meat and asked me describe it. You don't actually recall the first dreams, but during the later dreams I could easily identify textures and stuff. Move forward to the night before my 16th birthday. Same dream setting, but the masked guy didn't bring anything with him. He told me that I didn't need meat from other people anymore. He forced my arm to my mouth and made me bite down. I continued until I passed out and woke up in the hospital. My mum told me about a weird mark on my arm and me coughing blood. I didn't tell her anything about the dream cause at that time I still thought it to be a dream. Fast forward 2 years, we shifted and the next family who moved in there found the wet mask and our investigation was done. They found out there was a little crawl space under my room and the body of our infamous local cannibal gone crazy was found. The horror I felt was indescribable. The true horror lies in the fact that no other meat compares to the one he fed me. Turned vegetarian for a year before healing over that. Now at 19 I'm pretty normal. My mom started having seizures after my sister heard what sounded like a helicopter breaking down on the roof that flooded the house with light. I walked outside for a smoke scene to crafts going in oval shapes super fast, woke up my sister and she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Don't you ever show me that again." My mom, a few cousins and my uncle were playing hide and seek way back when they were kids. They hid in the barn and happened to look up. What did the moonlight illuminate? A man-like figure, but way taller, covered in fur. She refuses to go near barns at night now. My sister and uncle and mom, after my grandfather passed, kept hearing around the time they think he passed a loud thud in the living room, where my sister found him dead. Everyone kept waking my grandma thinking it was her. It was not, and she got mad and kicked them all out. Lol. I know my uncle was involved in fights in the past, reason that he got back from the capital to the city we live. And just a week ago he explained to me and my dad that he with 4 friend cops, they kinda beat the shit out of people, trafficked weapons, and he probably killed people. And the guy that he said he beat in the capital, the truth was that he kinda stabbed him a little in the neck. You know, not cool. Thanks for watching the first part of the video. This is where all the spooky goes, and we go to a different story. If you don't want to watch it, you can leave, but if you decide to stay then you are most welcome. And be sure to subscribe if you like this video. On to the next part. Serious. People who did a long time, 5 years plus, in prison. What was your biggest shock of the outside world? My old boss spent 7 years behind bars. He said the morning he got out, his grandmother picked him up, and they went to Target. He said his eyes were hurting, because he hadn't seen the color red in years. Maybe not quite that extreme, but I remember graduation day at Army basic training, when all the families showed up. I hadn't seen a fat person in 8 weeks nor colorful clothing. It was trippy. My bro only did a year, but he was let out with a guy who did 30 plus years. He tells the story of him having to explain a smartphone to the other guy. Imagine anything you want, whatever you want, and whatever you want to know. It's on your phone now. Speaking about my uncle, he was fascinated with online shopping. He had been in prison for about 30 years and he didn't believe that you can just order stuff from the internet and it would be delivered. So we ordered dinner from Seamless, my treat, and he practically power walked to the door when the bell rang. He swung the door open and enthusiastically greeted the delivery boy. Poor delivery boy, my uncle is this huge tattooed dude with a giant burn scar across his face lol. My cousin did 19 years following involvement in a bank robbery. For one thing, I will tell you, there isn't a happier guy on God's earth. He takes his freedom as an absolute joy and anything that happens, he takes it in stride. The big thing I noticed with him is, cell phones and how much we use them was absolutely alien to him. He knew they existed, and lots of people had smartphones, but people sitting around looking at them all the time struck him as amazing. I mentioned this to him once, and he said to me, when I was a kid, we had to have commercials on TV to remind kids to learn to read. Now I see. Everyone can read and write too, even if they are kids, and they talk to people around the world when they do. It's amazing. What a gift. Always stands out to me how he said what a gift. These things have of course been corrupted for us now, being used to steal data about everything we do and inundate us with paid for propaganda and scams. But my cousin at the time saw a potential in these devices and how they had improved the lives of the younger people in the family, because he went away when he was 20, came out around 40, and saw a totally different world from the desperate place he was when he tried to drive getaway for those guys. Thank you for watching my video. Comment if you have suggestions, like if you like the video, dislike if you dislike the video, subscribe if you want daily Reddit, and don't subscribe if you don't want to see more of my videos. Let's try to hit 10 subscribers this video. Have a nice day sexy lads and lasses.